Greetings, awakened warriors of all star lineages, fully activated on our missions for the ascension of Gaia and all her children. Today we had another powerful day of a galactic activation portal. So many things coming through, so many activations today. All day I was in between worlds. As I journeyed to a sacred portal, I was pulled deep into the void, into the stillness, into the underworld. We're all going on many missions in dream times and in our meditations. So we're all in this together. We're having intense activations through these weather patterns. Today, I felt totally on fire, although that's nothing new over the last several weeks. Now that Shakti has me totally lit up. But today especially, the fires were coming in. I felt it in my solar plexus. So with the solar connected to the crown, we're receiving activations with these upgrades and with these activations of our Merkaba fields. So keep anchoring that energy into the earth, into the crystalline core of earth as you rise up. So we smile, 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 ground, ground, ground into the earth. So with these massive changes, we're getting on one part of the world, massive flooding, another part, massive fires. So it was reported yesterday from Divine Sister Diana Dao Shi, our gold dragon of our lineage, that with these massive fires out west in the U.S., really anywhere in the world, but I know specifically right now California, I believe Utah, parts of Nevada, Oregon, and surrounding areas where these massive wildfires. She put out that to bring your pets in at night, especially at night, because of many wildlife being dislocated from their natural habitats. They're moving into areas where people live. So many of these are predators. So to protect your cats and dogs and other animals, to bring them in, and then also to leave out buckets of water 24/7 for the wildlife that are losing their homes or need to find places to feed and drink. So to assist the wildlife, it is being recommended to leave out buckets of water. And you could leave them on the outskirts of your property, if you don't want wildlife coming close to your home. So on the other end of the world, massive flooding all over the place, Indonesia, China, India, Bangladesh, parts of Europe. So this is the fire and the waters coming in, the masculine, the feminine, the Lemurian, the Atlantean, and Gaia's balancing herself out. So we see with our visualizations and our prayers to bring the waters where they're fire and bring the fire to where the water. Throat chakra just opened up. To bring the balance, to the harmony, to nature, to the Tao, to Gaia, to balance the fires with the waters. With these massive fires and massive flooding, it's bringing these extreme energies in. So many of us are feeling these extreme feelings and emotions moving through our bodies. And we see this fire, like the angers, the fears and stuff, anxieties being part of the fire, the burning up, and then the waters with the sadness, the depression, the loneliness, all these things that cause suffering. But these are all part of the releasing. So the best we can do, any way to release without hurting others, of course. But we have methods and techniques. Just look up emotional freedom techniques. One, the Sedona method, is I teach all these things. Acupressure, acupuncture. I teach a water path of releasing emotions. To allow yourself to feel whatever it is you're feeling and let it move through you and let go into that feeling. Just beyond the pain, just beyond the conflict is the bliss and the peace. We just have to keep navigating through and do our best not to resist whatever comes up, to allow it to come up and then to allow it to be released, or allow yourself to let go of these intense feelings and thoughts and energies. And that's why it is good to anchor into the grid, walk barefoot on the earth. That helps. Go out to nature, to sacred portals, They're all over. At the end of this video, I'll post a couple photos I took today of the codes coming through the sun through a sacred portal that I've gone to since I was a child to connect with my elven Venusian queen. The gold dragons have assisted in reuniting myself with the Condor and my Soul Star family. Namaste, beloveds. So, on this powerful day, this galactic activation portal, we had the 17 code appear on the Schumann resonance. Obviously, many people are seeing the 17 connected to the Q. It's also the 8, which is a toroidal field, or as we can say, like a time loop of linear time. And it's the sign of Source code, Source itself that created time and space to manifest into. We also had the massive volcanic eruption in Indonesia that shot ash, I believe some magma, but the ash miles into the air. And there's been multiple earthquakes. We had also 117 earthquakes, M1.5 or greater, in the last 24 hours. So we have the 17 code. Many people see the 117 and the 711. That's also connected to the 99. When you look at a code, you see the mirror of it, which is the reverse. So 117 and the 711, just like 37 into the 73, which is heaven on earth. The 37 symbolizing the external, the physical, and 73 the internal and the non-physical. But it is also a 1010 portal, the first of the 5 portals I have to travel through to return to the Condor, the great Shakti. Today we had 2 powerful earthquakes in our sacred Africa, in our beloved Tanzania. Liuli at 5.0 at 7:03 UTC. So there we have in our sacred Tanzania, with our angels anchoring in into the grid there, with the African children and our chimpanzees and our elders of our African tribes that are holding the codes. Credo Matwa, one of the last Zulu Sunasi medicine man, he ascended several months ago, and he's working with us from the higher dimensions. And then we also had another 5.0 on the border of Tanzania in the Congo, the Democratic Republic of Congo, which is close to the heart of Africa, and then by Lake Tanganyika, which is close to Lake Victoria, on the border of Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda. We also had a trinity of earthquakes by Tonga and Fiji and the Samoa Islands, with a 5.2, a 4.1, and a 5.6. And then right in the heart of Lemuria, Pahala, Hawaii, 3.0, 146 UTC, 19 latitude, 155 longitude, close to the Tropic of Cancer. And the most powerful earthquake today in our sacred land of Costa Rica, 6.0. And that was at 2151 UTC, 9.598 latitude, 84.601 longitude. So the 99 code is encoded in there of our star nations, the sky beings. And then in Idaho we had a 3.3, Puerto Rico with the Atlantean energy, 3.7 and a 3.2. So the whole grid again, totally lit up every day now. So there's codes encoded within the magnitudes, the locations, the latitude, the longitude, the depth. We had in Tonga, Puerto Rico, 888, 8 kilometers depth in all 3 of these portals. So that's connected obviously with the 88 Lions Gate. And then the 5.0 in Indonesia, and then the 4.4 in Myanmar, 10 kilometers depth, both 1010, and we had the 4.4 code. So Great Spirit and Gaia are transmitting these synchronistic codes through all these earth activations. And with these powerful activations, as our nervous systems are becoming more sensitized, more sensitive, to assist us in navigating through these energies, because we feel our way through everything. We feel our way through time. We feel our way through the portals and the gateways. We do that with the frequencies that are flowing through our body. We call it the chi, the energy, the life force, the jing, the fa jing. So we'll get started with our first transmission today from Divine Bro, Star of the Light, Pars Kute. We are entering a whole new galactic energetic gateway as higher frequencies of light now pouring into the earth. Portals, gateways are opening with the sun, letting through and releasing light codes. Expect benevolent change. Stay open, grounded and receptive, and continue to be present in the here and now with sacred love of one, Pars Kute. And from Sparks of Divine Light Healing, we have shifted into Virgo season. This will bring a lot of grounding energy with it. We have had a chaotic year, so we can expect these energies to really help us. We have a huge emphasis on healing right now as the planet struggles to adjust to the new energies streaming in. We're going to have a huge influx of cosmic energies pouring in this week. We can expect this storm to peak tomorrow and the rest of this month. Thursday and Friday are going to bring some massive waves with them. We're going to have some major energy continuing to pour in as we finish up the month of August. We're noticing an increase in solar and galactic energies. These solar storms are affecting our entire solar system. They are also affecting the magnetic field of the Earth. We're getting ready for some type of a solar flash event. In 1959, we had a geomagnetic storm so intense a solar flare hit the Earth. This was known as the Carrington event. As we are being blasted with more and more energies, some which are solar flares and CMEs, coronal mass ejections, we are seeing the very real effects it's having on people's health. These energies can cause radiation poisoning. They are so powerful they are changing your DNA. Humanity is going through a huge mutation as it makes a massive leap in evolution. You may even be experiencing ascension symptoms. Your body is adjusting to the upgrades and activations you're going through with these high frequency energies. That's why it is so important that you are working on detoxing and healing. We know metals and toxins in the body can make people really sick when exposed to these energies. It's time to really purify. Virgo season is an excellent time to get healthy. Maybe it's time to get into that detox routine or to get back to the gym. Here in the Northern Hemisphere, the sun is rising later and it's getting dark earlier. Things have made a shift as we are feeling the back-to-school vibes. This Virgo season is all about shifting to service and learning. This energy is preparing us for the autumn-spring equinox. This is the time to really slow down. There's nothing more important in your life right now than really taking care of yourself. The next few weeks we are going to continue to go deep within our own healing. We can expect to see some awesome space phenomena too as Aurora season has officially started. The equinox months are always the best time to see auroras. From sparksofdivinelightshealing.com and today from Divine Sister of the Light, Lisa Marie Wright. Imagination is creation. If you can dream it, you can do it. We cannot yet understand how far we will soar. Remain open to limitless potential, possibilities, and eternal expansion. Step in the direction of your heart's desire and trust the path will unfold. Dream big, know it's yours. And today from Divine Bro, Star of the Light, Daniel Scranton, your light bodies are coming. The 90 Arcturian Council. Greetings, we are the Arcturian Council. We are pleased to connect with all of you. We have achieved a level of consciousness that is simply too high to be held in a physical body. Any physical body that we would attempt to be fully aligned with would have to be enormous, and it would feel very limiting, very restrictive. And so we enjoy our non-physical status. Many of you are beginning to feel the same way about your physical bodies. You want to be free of them because they feel limiting, not because you want to die or cease existing. Those of you who are awake know that you will never cease to exist. And you also know that you are transforming. You are becoming higher dimensional. You are holding more light in your physical bodies because your consciousness is making that possible. Raising the level of your consciousness opens you up. You let go of fear and you let go of tension. You let go of your guardedness. And all of that lets the light pour to you and through you, transforming your physical bodies into light bodies. This is a process. It's not something that happens all at once, and it's not something that happens overnight. It is something that we see you doing more and more of all the time. It's why some of you feel like you need less food, or you feel only attracted to foods that hold a lot of light in them. Now, as you continue on in this journey, you're going to find that you no longer feel trapped and limited. You no longer feel attached to your physical bodies either, and that will be a relief. That will mean that you have transcended your fear of death, your fear of annihilation. Right now, all you can do is pay attention to how things feel when they move through your physical bodies. How does that food you ate feel? How does that piece of information feel? How does that music feel? Does it feel more expansive? Is it elevating you? Or is it bringing you down and making you feel heavy? Use your beautiful bodies to inform you of whether to move towards something or away from it. And be open. Be open to all of the possibilities that are in front of you. Be open to the light and love that is pouring down upon you at all times. And be open to changing your minds, because that is one of the ways that you raise the level of your consciousness. The less attached you are to your thoughts, beliefs, and ideas, the better. The more present you are, the more likely you are to feel that expansiveness and to get in touch with your feelings. You have to be in your body to feel your feelings. So please accept your bodies as they are now, and know that they are in the process of transforming into light bodies, and it is all happening because of your willingness to raise the level of your consciousness as you move through your lives. We are the Arcturian Council, and we have enjoyed connecting with you. From DanielScranton.com, and today from Shamanic Astrology Mystery School, August 24th, we have a star tetrahedron forming in the sky for a few hours this day as the moon moves into position to touch trine Venus and Neptune. The star tetrahedron, Star of David as it is also known, is a potent sacred geometry symbol, opening a celestial portal between heaven and earth, further awakening the sacred geometry in our DNA. In the same way crop circle symbols help activate symbolic codes in our DNA, the sacred geometry in the great above is doing the same. This is a great time to create ceremonial intent that expands our awareness, to embrace the greatest possibility of experiencing the magic of who we are. Plus the sun is still with the heart star of the lion known as Regulus, where the Hall of Records is thought to be located, adding to the potency of this time. And today from Divine Sister of the Light, Elizabeth Peru, taking back your power. You've heard me saying for quite some time now that when you focus upon what you're for and what you love, you naturally take back your power. It's a considered choice to pause before you speak or pause before you choose to engage. That's the mature and wise path that so many in our community of light are on. Considered choices have power behind them, and as I tune into the collective right now, I sense that many thousands are choosing wisely. Thank you for your dedication to your life path. From ElizabethPeru.com. Today from Astro Mama, Mars in Aries square Saturn in Capricorn. There's a battle outside, plus it's raging. It will soon shake your windows and rattle your walls, for the times they are a-changin'. On August 24th, Mars, the planet of war, aggression, and willpower, in his home sign of Aries, comes into a tense 90-degree square with retrograde Saturn, the planet of order, restriction, and obligation, in his home sign of Capricorn. Aries, the first zodiac sign, is known to be daring, courageous, a hothead, and impatient. Capricorn, the 10th zodiac sign, is known to be dutiful, hardworking, law-abiding, and structured. Here we have two malefics meeting up not just once, but throughout the rest of 2020 into January of 2021. Buckle up, this transit will be one of the most significant of the year, and that one that will go in the record books. Mars in Aries square Saturn in Capricorn is here to bring extreme and relentless pressure and tenacity to our lives. In a time where all we need is more pressure and chaos, these two in a battle will bring out the darker and more intense shadow sides to the surface, being that both are in their home signs, make them super powerful and directed. Anytime a planet is in the sign he or she rules, their energies are concentrated and that much more extreme. Mars in Aries has the upper hand as he is still direct, although stationing to go retrograde in a couple weeks. Once Saturn goes direct at the end of September, he will have the upper hand as Mars in Aries will be in retrograde motion, being that both signs are cardinal in modality will make them both want to lead and win. Mars in Aries wants to teach Saturn in Capricorn the art of rebellion and the willpower of the warrior, ready to fight tooth and nail to the finish. Saturn in Capricorn wants to teach Mars in Aries the art of control and the patience of the establishment, ready to climb the mountain 1 foot at a time. You can see the tense dynamics at play, the warrior versus the man, the fighter versus the boss, the aggressor versus the oppressor. Mars in Aries square Saturn in Capricorn is here to bring the extremes to the surface in quite a harsh and aggressive manner. Squares are not bad, they are tense, but they also produce action, a raging willpower of fiery passion, along with a grounded stance of patience and follow through are the higher manifestations of this aspect. The main thing to keep in mind is to not lose your stuff. It won't be easy, but it will be necessary. Mars square Saturn is one of the last tests that this crazy year of 2020 will bring. Personal responsibility and accountability are advised. Mars in Aries in a battle with Saturn and Capricorn is here to bring tensions to the surface to be finally resolved, create a tenacious stance of fiery conviction, and teach us the art of being with tension and keeping ourselves together and grounded. From astromama.com, and today from the archangelic calendar, the eve of Archangel Chamuel season, the Lightworker Legion, Archangel Simon, and Archangel Balathiel. Gaia is in the earth element and is setting in the changes that she has just gone through. This setting is a lot like the acceptance phase after a significant life-altering event. This setting is the feeling in your stomach you get when something life-changing happens and it makes a choice necessary. This is the general setting of the day. We are upon the last day of the season of Archangel Jophiel, Goddess Aphrodite, water season, as we enter the Archangel Chamuel, Goddess Hera, water spirit season. Things are going to get wet and wild, which marks the date that Gaia has indicated she would be complete with her engineering adjustments. Another marker of great importance to our legions is the observance of the celebration of Ganesh, who is an extremely active part of our armies. We approach a very holy time in the archangelic calendar as we celebrate many multidimensional events. This celebration season has just begun, and we can look forward to 2 seasons of 5th dimensional joy to savor. Housekeeping: we have a good deal of excitement over the last archangelic day. Fake book, banned the archangelic calendar. A natural consequence, we made some adjustments. We started our own social media platform that will remain regardless of what is going on social media. The calendar is now automatically translated into every language by using the tool on the right side. This also gives them the ability to go beyond 2,500 words. These reactions were very positive, and we should never fret about trivial things. Divinity has our backs. Look within and find out what to do. In conclusion, within a few short hours, it was reinstated, and you can use your imagination as to why. Remember, it's 99% how you react to 1% of the things that happened. The other significant consequence of the very brief Facebook ban is the legions are fired up. This situation pumped up the troops way more than I ever could have. The bonds that bind the Lightworker Legion are stronger than ever. This group has taken on a life of its own, and we're genuinely a balanced force that will continue long after we have moved on. In compliance with the law of disclosure, it's an excellent general policy not to poke a supernatural force. Our legions use great restraint when dealing with nonsense. It is best not to make us bring weight to you. It can't help but think of Nimrod. His claim to fame is building a tower to shoot an arrow at infinitely expanding creator source. Did not work out well for him. Okay, so Mars is glowing. Calm down, NASA. It happens when settings are changed and roles are switching. There will be bursts of new life on the planet. This is an exciting time to be a Martian. According to the OD metaphysical handbook known as the Law of Success, if everyone in the circle does not 100% believe in the ceremony, plan, company, etc., the task is guaranteed to fail. This Napoleon Hill classic is the book commissioned by the ruling families to comply with the law of disclosure over 100 years ago. Archangel Balathiel is in charge of helping those in extreme poverty. Archangel Balathiel can thwart distress, and thus he does not need an invitation to work on someone's behalf. Your voices are super powerful. Keep using them. We will be assigning Archangel Simon to keep our voices heard. Those who attempt to silence them will face his sword. If you are actively involved in helping the meek escape bondage, you are part of our legions. The trafficking situation is unacceptable to divinity, and those who do not turn a blind eye will endow themselves with the powers innate to the archangelic legions. Galactic news: the Blue Avians have sent us a new download code, 1827474L. There is a variety of ways to use this. It is a gentle system, so glancing with intention is enough, but I encourage you to have fun with its playful nature. There isn't much need to stress about large masses hitting the Earth and destroying the planet. Many comets, asteroids, and large masses have come close. Truth be told, because gravity is not the driving force of the universe, it repels after a specific size because the electrical nature of the objects repel each other. This lesson is something we should have learned in kindergarten. If you wish to know more about the mechanics, I am referring to research the electric universe theory, which is the missing link to astrophysics. It still baffles the mind why anyone would need to repress such information, as there is ample scientific evidence to support this. This theory does not apply to artificially created objects that we can handle with sword and shield. A false flag space station emergency is about to take the stage. We are not sending you a prognostication. Our Galactic Legion has been watching them setting this up. There isn't much we can do about someone destroying their property. Engineering, I wouldn't necessarily call this an Ascension symptom, but more of an Ascension result, as we will see in extrasensory mode. You will see very visibly orbs and other non-physical beings. The illness style of Ascension symptoms are easing, and they are giving way to the adjustments of new abilities. The conscious gas that we mentioned yesterday is now shooting off energy like bullets off its offspring throughout the galaxy. This form of procreation reminds us of how a starfish gives birth. These babies are everywhere and can be communicated the way we can with their mom. Archangelic Gathering summary: humanity had no idea how to articulate divinity. We must forgive them for this. Not everyone has the benefits of first-hand knowledge or the ability to digest the depth of this wisdom. We must not judge anyone's belief modalities, only if they are pure-hearted or not. We have all received messages from Archangel Michael and Archangel Azrael, but now we are being asked to open ourselves to the gifts from the entire Archangelic Legion. This timeline we are on ultimately has the fall of all governments. Of course, this is subject to change, but here we are. The tools for today's assignments are in the link in the description below. Today's assignments are: the golden age of Gaia is upon us, and like all new ages that come into our collective, there will be a brief transition period. You must stay aware, and if you see something upsetting, it is a call to action. This reminder of your omnipotence should become second nature and effortless at some point. It is like riding a bike. You are doing it, but for the most part, the mechanics of the motion are effortless. Casually create a flash of light engulfing your local area, and then watch for the anomalies that follow. We want to be working with our passive abilities and active abilities. Thanks to the censors who took a shot at us, we now have permission to pummel them. The strict moral code is why we can easily handle anything, and we hold these scruples ceaselessly. They did retract their actions, but did slap us without an apology. We will use orange flame and violet flame to engulf the entire social media network. We feel that this is an incredibly mild answer, and we could have done much more. This will only help to purify, cleanse, and transform the social medium. Chemtrails are back, although paid for by a different source. Drones administer this malevolent effort in the highest parts of our atmosphere. You can identify these non-governmental planes by their black aura and blue line down its center. Implement a blue flame for a 72 count, and then go at its engine with sword and shield. Taking this supervillain thing way too seriously, the CCP has a secret underground base. Announces yourself with the violet flame and then go in with sword and shield. This faction has to be kidding. So be careful of the sharks with frickin' lasers on their heads. The highest concentration of trapped souls is located in Bangkok. You would need to break the many layers of shielding to release these souls. It is best to bring a balanced attack of flames, electricity, and sword and shield. It may take a while, and there's no proper color code for this, so be advised. This is from the archangelicalendar.com. Today, from the Nyingma Masters of Tibetan Buddhism. The location of the truth of the great perfection is the unfabricated mind of the present moment, this naked, radiant awareness itself, not a hair of which has been forced into relaxation. Maintaining this at all times, just through not forgetting it, even in the states of eating, sleeping, walking, and sitting, is called meditation. However, until you are free from the obscurations of cognition, it is impossible for this not to be mixed with the experiences of bliss, clarity, and non-conceptualization. Nevertheless, just by not forgetting the nature of one's own awareness, the kind that is not a tangled mindfulness that gets more tangled, in order to be mindful, at some point the unelaborated ultimate truth, transcending terms and examples, will appear. Jigme Lingpa. Today from the Dzogchen Times. Kin 148, Yellow Overtone Star. Overtone is the name for the number 5, and its key words are empower, command, and radiance. We are now on the 5th day of the Yellow Seed Wave spell, which contains 10 portal days in a row. When you combine the energy of the number 5 with a portal day, the result is a very dynamic day. This only occurs 4 times in the Dzogchen. The number 5 packs a punch for sure, and we can all benefit from that power today if we assume command. Today is Yellow Star, and it represents beauty, art, and elegance. If you don't notice the beauty all around you today, then shame on you. Open your eyes and let them feast on art, beautiful smiles, a sunrise, your loved ones, etc., etc. It's not rocket science, and it's not hard work. Appreciate this beautiful place and reach deeper within yourself. You'll be surprised what a profound effect it can have. Be empowered by beauty is the message today. And today, from Divine Sister of the Light, Christina Papagiorgio, Yellow Overtone Star, Kin 148, 24, August 2020, Empowering Beauty. 24-8-2020 equal 24-8-22 equal 6-8-4 equal 18 equal 9. 24 charisma, joy, support. 7 heaven, Christ, harmony, family. 8 infinity, eternity, abundance, source, flow. 4 form, structure, foundation, earth. 9 destiny, service, humanity, grace, endings. Kin 148 equal 13 equal 4. All codes are in perfect divine harmonic alignment today, building the foundation for our beautiful new world of peace. It is a lovely day today. Our second gap day and day 5 in the Yellow Seed Wave spell of awakening, flowering, new beginnings, ripening, opening to more light, and blossoming into your highest potential. Today we are painting a new picture for our planet, focusing our power on creating the most beauty-filled world that we can. Tone of creation, overtone, tone 5 in the spiritual realm, action commands, power empowers, essence radiance. Number 5 represents the center, core purpose, foundation, and central intent. It is the center of the wheel from which all the spokes emanate. This is the phase where the energy of creation returns to the center and then radiates outwards. Overtones command the unbounded. They order it to be, and so it becomes. Their power radiates from their soul essence through a pure connection to Source. This is the true source of unlimited power. Today's gap energies supercharges the overtone power, full radiance to shine brightly, dear star blossoms. Today's energy of the yellow star combined with the overtone tone of radiance, together in the yellow seed wave spell of awakening to the light is astoundingly beautiful. So beautiful, in fact, that I am quoting the words of a true artist of the dream spell, Zasumi Jikka, who explains this day so eloquently. The overtone works with spiritual power. In New Zealand Maori language, we have a specific name for this which resonates most powerfully. The word is mana, meaning the power which comes from the spirit, which radiates and gives one the glow of spirit. And today is a day of mana where our fearless creativity is what empowers the new time, reflecting yesterday's access to the intuitive dreaming mind, bringing forth the knowledge of the new time, the divine beauty of nature and our connectedness to it that allows us to paint or write about the beauty of the harmony of this planet and its geometric patterning of consciousness, the sacred patterns of rocks lying on the sand, of fingers passing over strings, the interconnectedness of all life and the sacred geometry of elegant beauty. And so it is. Whatever it is you need, dear star blossoms, to move forward fearlessly in this beautiful 5D reality, today is the day to ask for full support. Open your arms and receive from the stars, from the heavens and from the earth, all that is needed to shine as bright as you possibly can. Today is the best day for a wedding, celebration, romantic liaison, family outing, creating art, smelling the roses, and appreciating all the beauty in our world. Grace and gratitude are the order of the day. Today's question is, how can I fearlessly focus on manifesting the most beautiful world possible? Divine blessings for painting the most beautiful picture on your canvas today. In Lakek Alakin, Christina White, Magnetic World Bridger, Kin 66. Kin 148, Yellow Overtone Star. The mantra, the code for today is, I empower in order to beautify. Commanding art, I seal the store of elegance. With the overtone tone of radiance, I am guided by the power of intelligence. I am a galactic activation portal. Enter me. So, beloved beings of light, on this powerful galactic activation portal, let us know in the comments below what you're feeling, what you're seeing, what you're experiencing, your visions, your dreams, your synchronicities. And if you're new to this channel, be sure to subscribe and click the subscribe button below and the little bell next to subscribe. And now for a little housekeeping. It's funny, I couldn't think of that word for a couple of weeks, and in the last couple of days, I've heard it several times. And now that I remember the word, it's a little mediocre, but I'm going to use it. Grandmother Bear wants to come in, so we're going to see what happens. So as always, we have a link in the description below to the transcriptions of today's transmissions, and we archive these on our website, primedisclosure.com. I'd like to also thank everyone for their support on Patreon and their continued support. If you'd like to make a pledge and support my mission and my great journey ahead to fulfill my sacred mission of the Eagle and the Condor, you can do that at patreon.com/primedisclosure. I'd like to thank Divine Sister of the Light, Naomi, for your extra donation and support. Thank you, Sister of the Light. And thank you all for coming here and supporting this channel and my work with your likes and comments and sharing these videos. It helps it get to a wider audience, and eventually one day when my Patreon builds up enough, I can demonetize this channel, because I know people don't like the ads, which I don't either, but for now, as long as we're still have 3D bills, I gotta keep doing what I gotta do. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I gotta keep hustling. You know, Uncle Sam's always knocking at the door. So, couple stories, and then I'll bid you all adieu. Today, during these transmissions, I am drinking one of our sacred teas called Mist Oolong from Shanlin Si, Taiwan, winter 2018. I get a lot of my good teas from Divine Bro Star of the Light, Jeffrey Godfrey, who has 3treasurestea.com, and that's spelled out T-H-R-E-E, Treasures Tea. And our brother has a tea house and started a tea farm down by Asheville, right outside Asheville. I forget the name of the town, but it's a population of 3. So he's holding the codes down there in the beautiful valleys of the Blue Ridge Mountains. So I know he's going to be producing some amazing teas, but he gets me some of the best teas from overseas, from our Divine Bro Stars and Sis Stars in China, surrounding Asia areas. And also a shout out to our friends and that have an amazing tea farm. You can get their teas from the Wang family, and that's wangfamilytea.net, WANG family TEAT.net. They have amazing teas there also. And some of the oolongs are some of our favorite teas. And the Taoist arts and Chinese medicine, tea is our most sacred medicine. There's over 200 different kinds of teas, all from one plant. Depends on when they pick the leaves. Some are from the buds. Depends on where the tea plant grows, what climate, how it's processed after, such as fermentation. The pu'er teas are fermented. Some are roasted. Some are in the sun, left in the sun. Many different ways. It's an art. We say the cha dao. Cha dao is cha tea, dao the way of tea, or we say gong fu tea. All gong fu is like the martial arts. Gong fu just means something of great value. Generally, everything is considered an art in Asia, from painting to sculpting to teas to the martial arts to the meditative arts. So we say something that takes great effort to master, just like any instrument. It takes time, dedication, persistence, and discipline. And a great master, I believe it was like Beethoven, these musical geniuses and these artistic geniuses would say that it generally takes about 10,000 hours of practice to master any art. And it was like Bruce Lee would say, I fear more a man that does one kick 10,000 times than 10,000 kicks once. So we see, and that's a general, we see 10,000, the 10,000 things, that's a general thing, and it's not set in stone. Some people might take 5,000 hours, some 20,000 hours to master an art. But in general, that's a generalization. We know it doesn't take a day, and it's not going to take 500,000 hours. So we have this code that says generally anything of great value takes time and effort and persistence. But we can go on and on about that. Today, on my journey to the sacred portal as I was in between worlds, and I'm gliding through the woods, I walk with each foot fully aware, touching barefoot upon the sacred body of Pachamama. So I walk as if I'm walking on air. I never thought I could feel so free. Uh-oh. Who could it be? Believe it or not, it's just me. Remember that Goofy show back in the 80s? Uh-oh. Grandmother Bear coming. So as I was gliding through the woods, barefoot with my long hair bared, my mala beads, I had a bright white shirt, and I walk with an open heart. There were two young ladies coming through the woods, and when they got into the path I was following, they were startled. Not sure why. I thought maybe they think I'm Jesus or some kind of strange holy man. So they grabbed each other, and it looked like they were ready to run. They were maybe 17 to 22 years old, I'm not sure, young women. And as I walked by them, they were kind of hesitant to even look, and I assured them that no, I was not an apparition. I said, do not worry, ladies. I'm not an apparition. I said it just like that. And they giggled and relaxed. But it's funny in these strange times, in this twilight zone we're living, it's like, you wonder, what is someone afraid of? Like, are they afraid of nonsense things like viruses and demons? And not that these things don't exist, but why be afraid of things that are weak, that are less powerful than us? With an open heart, when you live from your heart, these invisible things have no power over you. So you wonder, like, what do you fear, young ones? There are many things to fear, but I am not one of them, as I live from my heart. But I get it. You see this strange-looking being that appears like they're floating on a cloud, walking through space and time. It's funny, the reactions I get from people these days, now that we're in the twilight zone. Every day I say you cannot make this shift up. Because really, you can't. Because it is a dream within a dream. That is more tea pouring there. If you hear that in the background from my Guy Wan. Guy Wan, important to the tea practitioner. And we'll be doing many tea ceremonies in the sanctuary. You all will love it. It is like the Mad Hatter tea. I get you all tea drunk, we call it. The sacred teas. You get lifted, you get high on the pureness, the purity of our most powerful teas. We call 5-element tea. We go through, it's generally several hours of ceremony, but it's not a serious thing. We have lots of laughs, and I tell many stories, and it is a very good time. It's much more fun than even the Mad Hatter can come up with. Alice would love the tea ceremonies. So in this portal today, the last few days, Gaia's been bringing me many little baby toads. That brings me great joy as they hop around and roll around and flip, do funny little stuff, like little tiny heyokas. So I sat in this dry riverbed. That's a power spot for many shamanic arts. I'm connecting with the Nagas and doing my best to reunite with the Council of Eight. It's challenging in these times where anything that's left of the nefarious of the Dark Ones are trying their best to keep me from starting my journey and going on my mission. But do not worry, brothers and sisters of the light. I tell people every day, this is not my first rodeo. It's not my millionth, but it is my last. And I came here on the wings of love, not forgetting who I am. The I am that is here now, of the pure consciousness, that is one with Source, just as the one that is listening to these words now are not separate from me, they're not separate from anything, and especially not infinitely expanding Creator Source, whatever name you want to give to what we call the great mystery, which is beyond all things, and that is the dilemma every master experienced or realized when they realized our true nature, which is even beyond the emptiness, beyond the silence, beyond the stillness. There's no words. So we do our best. I can't sit here in silence. No one would sit here and listen to my videos because there would be nothing to listen to. So we come up with words that we can point to the moon, point to the source, point to the truth. Because ultimately, when you realize that there's nothing to attain, what's there left to do other than have some fun? Have fun with our manifestation. Have fun with our connections and the beauty that we can conjure up in our heart of hearts. And that is the way of the Heyoka, the sacred clown, to find humor in the darkest of places, of the darkest night of the soul. That is the levity. The mind in the matrix tends to dwell and think of gravity. You look at all sciences, physics, and all these things. Quantum physics is different. This is where we bring the spiritual into the physical. But all sciences generally focus on gravity, the pulling down, the falling, the going in. It is the yin, or the yin energy. I don't know what the yin is, but there's no yin to my yang, you know. Grandmother Medicine Bear likes to yin, but that's a bear dance that we'll teach you one day. We'll teach you that in the sanctuary when it's made manifest. So gotta come back to this timeline here. Let's see the bear dancing into its cave, like Winnie the Pooh going for his honey. I don't know. So when we focus on gravity, what causes gravity? Look at that thing fall at the speed of gravity. We tend not to think about the opposite of gravity, which a lot of people will say anti-gravity, where it's, there's no anti-anything. There's anti-de Sitter space and antidepressants and stuff, but we call it levity, the rising up, the ascension. And yes, one day we'll bring back anti-gravity devices, but for now, we'll find the levity within. And the levity is the fire rising up, The gravity is the water flowing down. The yin, the yang is the levity. One is not good, one is not bad. There are two opposing forces, not in a false or negative way. One cannot exist without the other. The push cannot exist without the pull, and the pull cannot exist without the push. There is no up without down, and no down without up. They're intrinsically linked in this simulated reality. And the simulated reality is not a bad thing either. We created the simulation to experience all that consciousness can experience. It just got out of hand, and the dark ones took over through the evolution of consciousness to experience what it felt like to be in this separate state, in this state of confusion, in this state of suffering, and all these things that we're resolving now so that we can live on heaven on earth eternally. We call eternal bliss consciousness. And this is the final mission, and myself and my soul star connections, my familia, la familia of light, and the elven Venusian queen, with this prophecy, the eagle fly with the condor. That is the divine union I talked about in yesterday's transmission, which the divine union, the Shakti and Shiva coming together, makes the twin flame concept look like little candles in the wind as opposed to an infinite blaze of light. But do not worry about these concepts. Just live from your heart. Be open to love. Remove all expectations. And just practice appreciation. And through these activations, you will all become one in divine union with your highest source connection. And it's coming through for me with this 12D energy, what I'm calling 12D. There's really no number, but the 12 is the divine goddess, the Shakti, the Magdalene, the Virgin of Guadalupe, all divine goddesses. The 1212 portal, which will be the third portal I must travel through to reunite with the Queen Condor, the white gold eagle, still learning to fly as the black gold condor is soaring high above the clouds, above the mountains, to the highest of high and the holiest of holy, all the way to the central sun, Hunab-Ku, which is the center of you, the center of everything, the still white magnetic light at the center. The internal is the external, and the external is the internal. That is how the holographic nature of the universe works. One piece is the whole, but this is the dance of life, the symphony of your life, the symphony of the universe, the music of the spheres. Everything expands as a sphere and contracts as a square. So through this compression and contraction, through linear time, as we compress into that still center to create that supernova of infinite expansion, through these cycles of the one law, the law of one, the pulse of the universe, we activate our highest love, our highest light, our highest codes to uplift all of humanity. Because this is what we came here for. This is our mission as warriors of the light, to hold the light steady and strong with great courage of the lion, our Lyran nation. Through all the lions, the blue lion, the white lion, the red lion, the green, the gold lions. So we see the gold is the highest manifestation, closest to the white light of source. So star dragons of the light, rise up, activate your soul spark to its highest potential, and that is what you lowered into this vessel from the higher dimensions to manifest your soul essence into this physical vessel, this avatar, to fulfill our great destiny of the new earth, heaven on earth, here now, in this body, where I always am. So thank you for joining me today, sacred being of light. Keep walking your most powerful path with heart, activating the emerald green of the heart center, the wave of light from our elven Venusian clan, here now, fully embodied, fully activated, fully aware. You know who I am, just call to me, and I am there. The Queen knows exactly what it takes. So have a beautiful and blessed day, beloved beings of light. I love you all. Namaste.